Hello, this is Roy Bennett with Team Locusts. This is our Week 2 Milestone 2 video walkthrough. I worked on the tutorial level, and as it loads, you'll see that it's been completed, and the only thing left remaining is adding sounds and music to it. As you can see, that the dialogue system is now fully working, and all the events that teach the player how to play the game have been fleshed out. So I'm going to jump cut a lot of this so you can get the full gist of the level and how so I'm going to skip through most of the narration and just get right to the tutorial aspects of this level. The player approaches this crystallized prism and is instructed to press the E key to interact with objects and also freeze his companion character named Wisp. In this room, the player discovers his weapon, and there's a little bit of lore in here and story. It's just to kind of give the player some immersion, but I'm just going to skip through it and get to where the player picks up the weapon. At this point, the player is now threatened by these enemies that are about to be summoned into the area, so he has to go run and pick up his weapon where he can now learn how to fight. Cut for editing. In the next area, the player finds his shield and is instructed on how to cast it using heal. We reiterated upon the protect ability to just be a simply heal ability that you just press the button, you use mana, and you regain health. Now by the end of this area, they will learn finally how to use their dash ability, and this is kind of scripted into an event where the player is surrounded and the only option that they have is to press the dash ability to then cross over gaps. And this is the end of the level where the player can leave through the portal, and that's the tutorial.
Hello everyone, Jeremiah Hughes here from Team Locust, and I want to show you the work I've been doing this milestone on the summoning system and the overworld. Now first and foremost, we have implemented the unlocking system for the summoners, or for the summons. Basically, the overworld again consists of 5 portals. The first 4 is unlocked. When you go into the dungeon, you go to the end of the dungeon, fight the elemental there, and once you kill him, you'll be able to pick up an item that unlocks the elemental for you to use. Once you have all 4 elements, you'll be able to use those elements as projectiles and use them to unlock the 5th portal. And right now I do have a way to unlock them in here in the debug menu, as well as test them out. Now also, because we are using multiple scenes, these will persist. So if you go into one scene and unlock it, you'll be able to come here and still have them unlocked. Same thing goes if you go back to the main menu and click continue, you'll come back and still have them. Let me show you how you'll actually be able to use them. We got rid of the limit break system, so as you take damage, your limit bar does not go up anymore. But what does happen is once you get to 30% health, it becomes available for you to use your limit or your summon ability that is selected up here. So now that I'm able to, I've used it. It will freeze them. Unfortunately, I did just die, but that is okay. Now that was the ice one. I want to go ahead and show you real quick the wind one. Now the ice one, if you were to use the ice summon on an ice creature, it will not actually freeze them. It will do nothing to them. So they'll actually be able to continue coming at you. Again, once I get to 30% health, it will become available to me. When I use it, I can actually move away and have the rocks do some damage to them. Alright, that is pretty much the gist of what I've been working on this week. I've been working real hard to get the summoning system up and running, and I'm very happy with the route it went. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a great.
For the ice dungeon, there are ice crystals, snow, cold winds, icicles from the ceiling, as well as some enemies you can encounter. You need the fire element to actually get through this blockade. The projectiles are a little finicky right now. We'll fix that later in the next build. The player can now receive damage when they fall down into there, and then in this ice area they can kind of skate around. As we continue on to get this lever, which will actually help unlock the next area. And then we can actually use this one to bring this blockade down. So if we go over here, the lever will actually go into that socket, and then we can press E to bring it down. And in the blizzard area, there's a freeze bar telling you how long you got until you will turn to an icicle. You actually will thaw out after a certain amount of time, and then we've entered the boss area. So now the boss is awake, and then we just have to skate around and attack it. Currently the boss, the animation for it isn't all there. And so sometimes he'll attack you. It's kind of slow. Like I said, again, we'll have to work on that for next milestone. And then he'll drop the ice crystal, which you can use to summon him in the next level. And then you can exit through this portal.
Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Cavazos, and I will be doing the fire dungeon walkthrough. So you're going to first come in here and notice that you see that I've added I took away the rocks and I added more of walls and stuff to make the player look like it's going through a dungeon that's been going through a volcanic eruption. So let's get rid of those. And then added a sound right there, and the animation plays and they fall. And then if you notice, I added there's some collectibles in here. So I added some dialogue right here. It says, look, oh, try to hit him from a distance. No. Come on. There we go. Or you just get up close and hit him. If you get too close, then it'll do damage to you because they're kind of like lava rocks just sitting there. Then unlock this walkway where it's going to have some collectible coins, or you can go that way, the normal way, and it's just going to be enemy patrolling. And let's explore that temple, and there's a temple right here. It's going to have 2 enemies and a collectible right here. So there's one right there. It looks like we already killed them, and there's going to be one more collectible right there. This way, and then let's go try and fight the boss. Let's get around here. It's going to play animation and block the guys in there, like rocks falling. And then the enemy is going to be, this is a new boss area. I kind of just took out some pieces of floor where the player can't walk. And there he is. He's going to be a lot stronger, have more health than the normal enemies. So it's going to take a little more. And once he's dead, it's going to unlock the portal right here to go to the next level.
Alright, we're getting into the Earth Dungeon level. So the improvements that we made to this level are dialogue box. Has added in some earth crystals for the player to interact with and play around. Still have updated some of the enemies to be larger, like mini bosses. They have a little more health and do more damage. So we actually need to use our newly refined protect ability, which we changed into a straight heal instead of a shielding ability. And you can see he does a lot of damage. He has a ton of health, so we'll use our heals. And he also drops an earth gem, and it unlocks our earth elemental.
Josephine Dolan, and my dungeon is the wind dungeon. What happens is you have to fight against wind. If you fail, you get hurt. Now what you have to do is simply walk across here, and then the next part is a little more complicated. You have to use these holes to try and hide from the wind. Now what you unlock in this dungeon is the wind element.